David is in Philadelphia. Hi, David. Welcome to the EntreLeadership podcast.
Hi, how are you, Dave?
Better than I deserve, man. How can I help?
So I run a handyman business. I'm the owner. Last year's revenue was about $650,000. Right now, have 4 employees. Last year was up and down. Started with 1 at the beginning of the year. You know, it had its ups and downs, but we're at 4 solid right now. Looking to add a routine home maintenance aspect that I'm hoping will be more scalable and less dependent on me, because right now it's a lot of the business is dependent on my creativity. There's someone doing this very successfully who has it pretty much all systemized and is willing to sell me a license for $35,000 plus royalties. And I want to hear your thoughts if I should go buy this from him and fast track my way into adding this onto my business as opposed to trying to do it myself and potentially hitting burnout before I get there.
Well, I wouldn't be hitting burnout. I mean, you might get tired, but that's different than burnout. Burnout is I got no hope. Tired is I've been working a lot.
The thing is that I keep kind of flitting in and out of that burnout stage where I'm currently at, because I've built this giant as I like to see it, but a lot of it's dependent on me right now.
Yeah. Well, that's not solved by a magic bullet from the outside. That's solved by you changing your structure and creating a more delegatable process where you move from the treadmill operator stage to the Pathfinder stage. Right now, you're on the treadmill. If you get off the treadmill because you're sick or go on vacation, everything stops, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, all the revenue is based on you showing up. And so you've got to fix that whether you get into the other business or not. The other business doesn't stop that.
The way I see it is, if I add this on and I can make that my primary business and it's already systemized, then I can get off of that treadmill stage faster than if I have to create it all from scratch myself.
Well, adding a line of product doesn't get you off the treadmill stage. What gets you off the treadmill stage is getting people in place that you can delegate to, and they're creating revenue when you're on vacation. And that's, the people that you currently have aren't ever going to be doing that with what you're proposing. Your current line of business is always going to suck the marrow out of your bone until you fix this.
Yeah, but I think that my current product is my creativity, is I think the real problem, more than the guys.
I don't understand. What's a creative handyman?
So someone asks me to figure out how to vent their over the range vent outside, and there's just 6 other people who came in and couldn't figure out how the heck to do it, and I get in, I figure out how to do it, but it's a little bit.
What percentage of your $650,000 is doing something that nobody else knew how to do? Most of it's fixing a dishwasher, repairing a deck, and hanging the door, isn't it?
You have a good point.
Okay. So the creative part is not what's holding you back from delegating. You're still doing a bunch of the other crap. Right?
That's interesting.
Yeah. So I think if you said, I'm going to take the creative stuff and I'm going to work on my job for the next year is to make everyone else run autonomously, and my job is to check the jobs, not do the jobs. My job is to check the people and make sure they're doing the job the way I want it done, and follow up with customers and be sales and marketing, and take the 10% of our revenue, the $65,000 or $80,000 that is unique venting system or a unique way of solving a problem. You have a spatial genius, meaning that you can see things in 3D, and so you know how to fix things that other people don't see. That's what you're talking about with creativity, and that is a unique gift, and you need to keep that gift around. But the use of that gift gives you energy; it does not drain you. It's the other stuff that's draining you.
It doesn't drain me at all. It's probably the Come on.
It's the most
You
fun.
did that?
Yeah, really. I mean, come on, man. Can't you see that? Because you can walk in a room and see while 5 other people are standing around there scratching their head, you know? And because that's what a spatial genius can do. I've got several friends that are spatial genius. And they can see stuff that other people can't. Because their way their mind is designed by God is to work in 3D. And it's almost like you did, like you're a CAD drawing running in your brain. And so a 3D CAD drawing. So anyway, I would say I want you working on $80,000 to $100,000 a year worth of creativity, and I want you delegating the rest of it way better than you're delegating it now. That may involve hiring some different people or some more people and giving up some profit, but to get the mundane off of you. The dishwasher that's leaking, the toilet that's leaking, the door that needs to be hung. And that's where there's serious money in the handyman world, because I don't care how much they put this stuff on TV, the typical person can't handle a screwdriver. The average American is a handyman idiot these days. In the 1950s, everybody could fix everything. You wouldn't even have a business.
So how would you recommend going into delegating these things more? Because I have created systems. A lot of that's there. I'm not jumping on the tools every 3 hours, but there are a lot of calls, and there are some like, oh, why'd you do that? Why didn't you bring this with you and do it that way?
Yeah, well, that's continuous training, and the more competent someone is, the longer they've been executing something, the more you can trust them with it. And you can't just delegate to someone who's never done it in front. They may have done it great somewhere else, but they've never done it in front of you. And if they do it in front of you once, that doesn't qualify. So it's going to be a process of building out your team the rest of the way in a level of competence, meaning that it's not just competent to fix the dishwasher, it's competent to put the blue booties on before I walk in, because the lady I'm fixing her dishwasher, you don't want her pissed off because you want her to bring you back. And how you treat her, and did you take a bath and shave before you went to work today? Hello. And that kind of stuff. And so if you do that and you show up on time and you smile and you have just a tiny bit of people skills, you can charge almost anything in your world. You've already discovered that, because no one in your world shows up on time and does what they said they were going to do. They leave the dishwasher, they go home, they go to pick up a part, and instead they go home. And they call them back later and say, I'll come back in 2 days. Meanwhile, the lady's really getting progressively angry, and eventually then ensures that her husband is angry, and your whole world shuts down. This is the training you have to do. It's not the fixing of the dishwasher. And so it's the handling of the people in the process, and that's what you're good at.
So it's a human thing that a massive handbook is not going to solve.
Oh, no.
You're building it up. You're repeating over and over again. It's very human.
Exactly. It's mentoring. It's apprenticeship, and it's not just can you weld. It's can you handling the people you're welding for. And these are the people that become very successful, as they have a high EQ, emotional quotient, ability to deal with others and handle relationships. Now, once you've done that, and it's going to take you a year, then we can visit the other issue. And now I'll answer your original question, okay? No, I would not pay somebody $35,000 to create a subscription maintenance process that's really not rocket science, and I certainly wouldn't pay them an ongoing royalty. I think you already know how to do this. You're just trying to find a silver bullet for the other problem, and I think it's not worth it. I think you're smart enough to build something like that. Yeah, the only time you pay someone a franchise fee is if they know something that is so unique in the market that no one else knows it, and you can't figure it out. There's only one way you can make a Subway sandwich, and it has to be green, and it has to be yellow, and it has to be sliced a certain way, and then you have a unique proposition, and then you have a nationally known brand, and you can franchise your brand. But just because this guy one time put together one system, and now he wants to make money off you the rest of his dadgum life, no, thank you. I would handle it myself. I think you're a better entrepreneur than that. I think you can dig this out. But I don't think you can dig it out while you're trying to dig out the other thing, too. Because I think you're trying to go at it from a weakened state, and that's why you're looking for a weakened state, meaning you're not delegating, and it's the mundane stuff's burning your butt, and so you're looking for a silver bullet over here to the right to solve all the whole thing, and the one thing hadn't got anything to do with the other one. So that's my opinion, and it's worth what you paid for it, brother. I think you're a great entrepreneur, and I think you're a good people guy, and I think you're a real candidate. We're going to put you in EntreLeadership Elite as my guest. I'm going to pay for it, and so I'll have the team pick up and get you signed up, because you need to really go from treadmill to Pathfinder. You are on the verge. You've got all the different little pieces, the nuances. You're exactly a case study of why we do this. So very, very well done.